Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Amazing. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'll really appreciate if you can just unmute and say hello. I know, just let me be sure that one person is hearing me.
Hello, hello,
Amazing.
yes,
That's
good
fine.
evening.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hello, good evening,
Thank you.
sir.
Hi, good evening. Good luck. Your name stood out, so I'm always remembering your name.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm always like, then Orok Orok. Yeah, I remember Orok Orok. Orok Orok stood out because I have a background in Calabar. I grew up in Calabar, Orok. So once
Okay.
I hear the name Orok Orok, I always remember there's a street called Orok Orok as well. Orok, can you hear me? I reckon you're trying to speak, but network is messing you up with what I'm saying. Okay, all right. So I think I'm gonna start right away because I can't wait. I've got a lot to cover today. All right, guys. So I'll just start with by introducing myself and just also in case you hear any noise, just know that I was babysitting today. So my boy is trying to get into the workspace, but I've logged out. I've blocked it so in case you hear any noise. That's how we do it. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen, introduce myself for those who have not met me before, and we pick up from there. So I'm seeing someone lift hands up. Do you want to say something, Alex, or it's just hi,
Oh,
Alex? You want to
okay.
say
Indicating
your
that I
hands
was
are up? Okay. Can I lower
yeah.
your hands down then? All right.
Okay.
Okay. So welcome, guys. Welcome everyone to Party Code Academy. My name is Indiana, and I'm a UI UX mentor for this project, and we have other three other mentors that would be taking classes. I think tomorrow someone else is taking as well. But you see more of my face, you see more of him, Oge, and more of Sum too. Then Tolani will be taking classes once in a while. And apparently, just let me introduce myself. They will do their introductions. So I'm a UI UX mentor. I started my career as a digital marketer, and I switched to front end design, like web development using Java, sorry, HTML, CSS, Java, yeah, then React, of course. Then from there, I switched to UI UX design, and I've been doing UI UX for, okay, someone asked what's my name again. My name is Indiana Basi. Indiana. Yeah, so Yetunde, that's my name, Indiana, not um, not the Indiana Jones. So you could say Indiana, not the Jones. All right, so my name is Indiana, yeah, Yetunde. So I also, because I may be missing some chats, so please, once in a while, if you, I don't mind, so the way I run my class, I don't mind you unmuting to ask question. You can cut me at any time. That's how I prefer my own class to be, by the way. In case I miss your chat, sometimes I might not see your chat, because if I'm busy on the screen, I might not see your chat. But thank you very much for that. So, I've been doing UI UX for about roughly, I think we are getting into 9 years now. So I can say I'm a senior UI UX designer, right? Yeah. I've been doing that for a long time. I think it's taking almost my my I'm still young, so I'm not old. So you can imagine when I started, right? Yeah. Just started barely when I was like 23 or so, 22, 24, about around that time. That's when I started. So I really got into, yeah, Orok, welcome. I can see you. I really got into it very early, and I still wish I knew it earlier than I did, by the way, because maybe by now I would have been about 14 years in it. I'm just joking, by the way. I'm not regretting. So, guys, I believe it's going to be a good time with all of us. The way our classes is being run is most times we always have 90% of the students who don't have any idea about UI UX. In most of the cohorts we've hosted, it's always that case. But I've realized something that most of those students who always perhaps have idea on about the project or have done UI UX before are always the one that drop out at the end of it reason, and they are always the one who don't even do well at the end of it when we now compare with other students who did not even have idea. Because the reason is because they feel they know. But as we progress, we realize that they don't know the basics. So they only know how to design, but they don't know the basic of other things. And if you're a good designer, you will not be a good UI UX designer if you don't know the basic of user research and every other thing. So I want to tell you that that's why I always try as much as possible to be the one to take the first class, because this particular class has everything to do with what you will need if you want to build a career in UI UX. If you emphasis on if you want to build a career in it, because it's something you're going to do every day of your life as a UI UX designer, whether you are whether you are going to be a UI UX designer, whether you're going to be a user researcher, because we have so many parts of UI UX. But in this project, we're handling UI UX design. But we have user research, we have users writer, we have a other part of it. In some offices like where I work, we have user interface is different from user experience. But we are going to treat that in this class today. So just class rule, respect everyone. No question is stupid or useless. Feel free to ask any question. Don't be shy, because if you don't ask, I will not know you're struggling, or other mentors will not know you're struggling. Feel free to ask questions on the community that you've been added to as well, because we need to be sure that you are how do I call it that you are realizing that you've done your assignment. Because if you don't ask, that means perhaps you did not. If you don't encounter any challenge, that means you did not do some homework or some practice by yourself. There's really no way you can learn without practicing. There's no way you can learn without practicing. So what I'm just going to do right now is, because we are going to build a community, and like I always say it, in the next 2, 3 class, you realize you guys will be so fond of yourself. You just love yourself, whether you or love yourself, because that's how our classes has always been. You see the banter, the laugh, the play, the joke, the fun, and everything. That's how it's just the way I responded to that wonderful lady or guy on group. That's how we funny we are. And literally, I was just laughing. And that's how we are. I mean, because we need to learn people learn in various ways. So what I'm just going to do is I want us to introduce ourselves. I want us to introduce ourselves. And the way I want to do it, I don't want us to just drop it on the chat. I'm going to call the name. You tell me, I can see all the names, so I'm going to call your name, and you tell me um where you're joining us from, emphasis on your name, where you're joining us from, and your aspiration. Your name, where you're joining us from, and your aspiration, and your level in UI UX. So are you a beginner? Are you a novice, a beginner, intermediate, or a senior UX designer? So I'm going to start with the first person I'm seeing here is Good Luck, because Kamara is on. So Good Luck, I'll start with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. My
Welcome.
name is my name is Goodluck Ihedo, and I stay in Lagos, precisely at Ikorodu. And
All
my
right.
aspiration in UI UX, I am a novice in UI UX, but I have I've seen some some designs on it already, and I want to be a UI UX designer, and I believe that my coming into UI UX will afford me this ability and these skills, these unique skills to develop my experience more on tech, so that I can be useful in the tech industry.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Good luck. Who else do I see on Messi? Is it MC? That should be Messi. Hi, Messi. You want to say something? Your name, introduce yourself, please. This is the first class, so we need to know everybody. Hello. Okay, we can't wait for Messi. I guess our network is bad. The next person is Ayomide Odulaja. Are you serious, Ayo? Is it the Ayo that I know?
Good, good afternoon. Good
Good
evening,
afternoon.
yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon.
Yeah, actually, it's my wife that is doing this course,
It's
but
me, oh,
I,
it's me,
I
oh.
think our phone having issue. We're trying to connect. There's no Zoom on the laptop, so we're just trying to install. So I just
All
should use
right,
my
that's
phone.
fine. Okay, okay. So when she is ready, she would introduce herself. Then that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Zenith, can you introduce yourself, please? You're muted, Zenith. Can you unmute yourself so you can talk? Yeah, that's fine.
My name is Zenith Oranachi, and I'm a student. I'm also a Tremite. I
Okay.
stay in Lagos.
All right. Okay, what's your level in UI UX?
Sir?
What's your level in UI UX? Do you have any idea? Have you done it before?
Please, I'm not hearing you.
What's your level? What's your level? Have you done it before?
No.
Okay, you've not done it before.
This is my first time.
Right. So, Jessica, please, can we meet you?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good
Hi,
evening.
good evening. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jessica.
Okay.
I stay in Lagos.
All right.
I'm more or less a novice beginner, if there's anything like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. And I've always been very intrigued about UI UX. Why? Because I'm a communication specialist. I basically deal in how users communicate with products and how products communicate with users. And since this deals with users interface right now, so it's just very, very, very intriguing because I took a course on product management as well. And so UI UX is kind of like intertwined with it. So that's why I decided to take up this UI US scholarship from Paddy Code.
Right.
So I'm hoping to grow on it and be a better product manager, a better communication specialist, and also a better UI UX designer.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully.
yeah.
Hopefully we hope to see you do that. Become
Yes,
great.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who else have it? Alex. Hi, Alex Finton. Alex Finton. Is it Finton? Please
It's
correct
Fintan.
me. Finton. Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, my name is Alex, and I'm based in Port Harcourt, and this is my first time, so I'm like a newcomer to UI UX. For me, it's always been at the top of my goal list. It's all about diversification, actually, just ensuring that I have as much skills that I can lay my hand. So yes, thank you very much.
All right, yeah. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you.
Olamide.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Olamide.
I'm Olamide and I stay in Lagos. So
Okay.
I finished saving, and for UI UX, I've always wanted to learn UI UX. I mean, I was learning it on my own sometimes ago, but I got stuck. I wasn't doing well. So this time around, I hope to learn it very well and be professional. So yeah,
Okay. So statistically, 50% of those that learn UI UX on their own drop off,
yeah,
and 45% of those that learn on their own would never be good. That's 45%. So that's about 90% of them. It's only 10 and 5% of those that learn by themselves that always build a career in it. And the idea is because you definitely need a mentor. You need a community. So if you
yes.
want to learn on your own, make sure you have a community. Okay, so that was Lamide. Gift to Kuka.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good
My name
evening.
is my name is Gift Chukuka. I'm joining from Lagos as well. Mm, I'm not exactly a novice, right? So I've used the app. I use Figma well to an extent, but like I don't have that creative thinking ability. But most of the designs I do are just like basic drag and drop. I see something, I just recreate and put it like in the design or like in the web page or in something I'm trying to create. But I don't
Okay.
have that exact creative thinking that I need. Like if I have a project, what do I do and things like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
I just aim to be this all-rounded, well complete designer, and I really think that I really know that UI UX design is going to like make a strong path for me to follow and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that means in that case, what you need to do is to find your inspiration. So I think I'll build something from the hopefully I remember how to get inspiration. I don't know who is going to take that class. I don't know if I'm the one that's going to take that topic, but there's a topic that has to do with how to start to design. So everybody find inspiration. But what you've done is good because you must copy first. So if you can copy first, just keep copying. Forget the creativity part of it. It comes by default. By the time you begin to copy, you will not copy anymore. So you copy until you are good. But that was fine. Thank you, give him. Umeza,
Yes, good evening, everybody.
good evening.
Good
Are you
evening.
sure we can
Yes.
cover everybody like this? Let's be fast. Time is going.
Yes. All right. Yes. My name is Omeza, and I'm joining from
Um,
Lagos. So, yes, and I'm actually very new to UI UX. I'm a novice, but I really like the idea of the course, and I really want to, be a very professional designer. So I want to master the fundamentals, learn and grow, and also contribute to impactful projects. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Yetunde.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is
Hi, good evening.
my name is Yetunde Akintoye. I joined from or I'm joining from Lagos, and I'm very very new to product
All
UI.
right.
Yeah. So I hope to become guru and be a professional in the field. Thank you.
Welcome. Then Genevieve, Inodi. Is it Inodi also?
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name
Hey,
is
good evening.
Enodina Genevieve. I just graduated from University of Benin. I'm based in Benin. And UI UX. I would just say I'm an intermediate person. Then I'll rather.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Orok.
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening,
Yeah,
everyone.
good evening.
Okay, my name is Farok Orok. I'm joining from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Um, Okay, I'm not really new to UI UX. I have had a little interaction with Figma, and this is because I have had the opportunity of learning a bit of graphics design, although I was self-taught. And so I'm looking forward to building my tech skill. That's improving what I know, learning the rudiments actually, because what I
All right.
did was self-taught, just like
All
Gift
right.
said.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Paul,
thank you.
I want us to be fast. I can meet up. Hi, Paul.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Good
Paul.
evening, everyone. Yeah, my name is Paul Itwa, calling from Lagos, Ikorodu precisely too. Yeah, I'm actually new in UI UX. I just had a new fond love for tech and the rest like that. So this is actually my first time experience, first
Amazing.
time in everything. I actually look forward to being a professional in this. Basically, that's all. Thank you.
All right. That's fine. Hi, John Alvin.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So my name is John Alvin, and seriously, I'm really grateful for this program because for a very long time, right, I have actually had this interest in and passion for UI design, actually UI design. So this now gives me and just earlier this year, I just had that newfound interest in UX design. So now it's now this scholarship, now being a scholarship, and not just being a scholarship, but it's a community that, because I know I actually, like you said, communities actually foster growth. Because
Yeah.
I actually believe in communities as accountability, partnering, and all of that to actually push someone and drive someone into growth. And so it really means a lot to me being part of this because for a long time, and like I said, I've had a passion for UI design. So this means a lot to me. And I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who else? Mary.
Good evening.
Hi,
My
good
name is
evening.
Adeniyi Mary. I'm a fashion designer and a writer, and I'm novice to UI UX. So I hope it will open my eyes to more that will help my business grow.
All right, you say you are a fashion designer and a.
Writer.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. All right, yeah. Welcome. John Ako.
Yeah, good evening. So my name is John Ako from Lagos. I am not I'm a beginner because I won't really call myself a novice because I have a Figma account and I know the basics of designing. Yeah, so
Can you?
I'm here to learn. Sorry,
Hello.
can, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me? Can
Hello.
you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I said my
Yeah.
name is
Sorry
John.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, so I said my name is John Ako from Lagos. I'm a beginner, but like I won't call myself a novice. I know a few things about like UI UX designing, and I want to learn more and get certified and become a professional and a global product designer. So that's why I'm here.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Welcome,
opportunity.
John. Slice. Hi, Slice.
Good
Hello.
evening, everybody.
Yeah. Good evening, please.
My name is Nadia Kachiflora, and
Okay.
I don't have basic knowledge about UI UX design. I heard about it from a friend who is here. So I see people talk about it. So I really want to know what it's all about. I really want to
All
learn
right.
everything about it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oluchi.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluchi. I'm actually a beginner, a novice, let me put it that way. I have no idea. And I think I want this is like an opportunity for me to push myself because I've been procrastinating on wanting to learn something new outside my comfort zone. So I'm taking that opportunity. Thank you.
All right, yeah. Is that Oluchi I know?
Yes.
The voice, the voice sounds. I'm like this voice. Welcome. That's
Thank
strange.
you.
I didn't expect to see you. All right, Laide. So we need to be fast. I think I have 4 more people. 5 more. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
name
Yeah.
is Laide. I am from Lagos and I have basic knowledge about UI UX. I'm good with designing, but the problem is I didn't really learn how to prototype that much. I know a little bit in prototyping, but not so much. So that's
If
why I
if
joined.
if you're in prototyping already, you're a papa now.
Not
Should should
really.
we should, should we should we give you a slot to tutor?
No, don't worry. No, don't worry. Let me learn more.
All right. All right.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome, please. You're welcome, please. Okay. Who else? I think Belinda just joined, so I'm going to skip her face. Emanuela. Emanuela's iPhone. Melinda or Emanuela, one of you should introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, we can hear you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
My
evening.
name is Eze Emanuela Oninichi. I am a Tremai and I am not new to UI UX design. I started learning it a while ago, but I stopped because I didn't have a community to keep me motivated and disciplined. So I stopped learning it.
All right. Let's see how we can help you then, Emanuela. Okay, Melinda.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
My name is Melinda. I actually am new to UI UX. I just finished schooling of recent. So I decided to like switch into tech. And to some extent, I've started learning on YouTube. Like I just started learning few things. So I feel like I need to learn more from those that have been in the industry for long. So
Amazing, yeah.
yeah, so that I can start earning from it.
Interesting. I love the fact that you set a goal because that's a good thing. You want to earn from it, which is fine. So that's a good one. So next is that Titilope, our head of students, or is another Titilope?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Titi Lokwe Ademiji. I'm actually new to UI UX. I've been saying I want to learn it for the past how many cohorts now, but I keep procrastinating. But here I am. Thank you so much for having me here.
Young woman, you didn't tell us you're joining this course. You're going to pay for it. There's no scholarship for you.
No problem, sir.
You collect yourself your money. Right. Serious. Victor, please. Hello, Victor. I think we have 1 minute. If Victor is not available, Abdul, please go ahead because we've used 30 minutes.
Hello.
Yeah, proceed, please. Whoever is up, proceed.
Yeah, it's Victor. So
All right, Victor, go ahead.
you already know me. My name is Victor, and yeah, I'm not new to UI's design, but I've been a founder. Like I've developed a few apps, and I just wanted to learn how to do most of my prototyping myself, so I can be able to cut costs in many places.
All right, yeah. So you want to do more of the interaction.
Yeah, and I'm a project manager, so I do deal with
Okay.
Figma often. So
Okay. Oh, this is Victor Damian, right?
yeah.
Oh, Victor. Yeah, we've had a conversation before. Yep. Welcome, Victor. Yeah. All right. So Abdul,
Good evening. Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Abdul. Well, I'm a UI UX designer because I'm here learning UI UX, so I regard myself as UI UX designer. I've been doing UI UX design for about 4 months now. I just concluded an internship HNG, so I just figured
Mm.
to do this one as well for added experience, to learn more and expand my network of people. So I'm looking forward to
Oh,
learning as much as I can.
amazing. Welcome, Abdul. Please, have I missed anyone? Nasu, I don't know if I missed that person. Did I miss is she or did he or she introduce? I don't know. I'm sorry if I miss you, please. If you've not introduced yourself, so sorry. We just have to go dive straight in. So, guys, like I said, I don't know if I've missed anyone here on this call. I can't find blessing. Blessing. Okay. I think that's what the person I've missed. Blessing, do you want to introduce yourself? Is that fine?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, please.
Okay, good evening. My name is Martin. I'm new to
Yeah.
UI UX.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think we just have to proceed. Welcome, Blessing. Sorry, we can't wait anymore. So, guys, I'll be a mentor for today, and I want to take you guys on two things. Basically, introduction to UI UX and design thinking process. Now, I realize that based on my experience and consulting for a couple of companies, both Nigeria and in the abroad, I realize that majority of UI UX designer or UI designers or majority of product, let me use this word now, product designers only know UI, only know the user interface part of it, but they don't know the UX part of it. So you see them found one thing trying to struggle to understand the UX part of it. And for those who don't have any idea about this, so we are going to take you through on the UI UX foundation and the design thinking process. So let's go straight in. So the question is, you might want to ask yourself, what the learning update to product is that at the end of this course class, you should be able to understand UI UX fundamentals and importance of creating seamless digital experiences. You will also learn the UI UX design process, which is how to empathize, define ideas, and how to contribute to user-centered design. Remember that every product is for the users, not for you. So you don't design because you like it. You design because the users want it. Emphasis on what I just said. So to recognize the difference between UI, which is user interface, and UX, which is user experience, and their impact on product. So at the end of this, in those three things has to be accomplished. First, understand what the fundamental. Second, understand the design process. Then understand the difference between UI and UX. All right. So next, let's talk about what UI UX is. So they are combination of two keywords. One is user interface, which is UI. The second one is user experience, which is UX. So the UI, which is the user interface, is what you are seeing on my screen right now. Let me use that word. UI focuses on the look and feel of the product, how the product looks, how it feels. I will use what my senior mentor who works with Google is a Japanese Japanese designer who works with Google. One of the things he always says, um, user interface is your makeup, what you wear. You see, when someone have pimples everywhere as a lady, so many, but you now wear makeup and doesn't feel. Yeah, that's user interface in design. The user experience is when you now get closer to the person and you get to know the person's real face, the person's attitude, the person's behavior. So how you feel when you interact with the person, taking taking into consideration now you are in a relationship, whether it's in whatever kind of relationship, that means you've now known this person. So your user experience is what you experience with the person, how the person was great, the sweet spirit, the lovely person, how humble, how gentle, how saucy the person was. Those kind of things, that's what you experience when you're interacting with the product. In this case, the product is a human, the lady, or if it's the other way around, the guy you're interacting with. So the user interface is the clothes the person wears. The user experience is the person's attitude. Now, that's the same thing that happens. Then when you pick up your phone and you go to um, Facebook, let's say Facebook for an instance, or TikTok, the black film or whatever you see, those pictures you see, those are the user interface. The experience you have is when you try to click on like or repost, and you are able to click and successfully repost. That means that means you had a good experience. So user interface focus on the look and feel, while user experience focus about how the user interacts with the product. So I would always say this way, user interface is about the visual interaction aspect of a product. More like the typography, the panels, the icons, the images, all those things that you can literally see. Everything you can see, the icons, the menu and everything. Then the user experience refers to the overall experience the user has when interacting with the product. It means, was it a very nice product? Were you able, let's say you wanted to buy an e-commerce, if you wanted to buy a wig as a lady and you add it to your cart and when upon trying to check out, it bounced back. You're unable to and it's not telling you maybe it was card declined, or maybe it told you it was insufficient fund, maybe it told you product out of order. You just decline and you say order not successful, it not tell you the reason. That's the wrong user experience, right? But told, okay, oh, sorry, not this moment. Top up your funds, all this stuff. You now know, okay, this is it. And you now top up or you get another card and it went through. That might be a good user experience. That's why you always go on an application, sorry, on your Play Store or in Google Store and give a bad review on a product or on an application that you just downloaded. The reason is not because the application is not good or is not function, is not well designed, or you did not have a good experience upon interacting with that application. Can you guys understand what I just said?
Yes, I do.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, now, so the key component of what why UI UX, why UX is important, emphasis on the UX part of it right now is that it enhances user satisfaction and engagement. If you focus on the UX more than the UI, you would realize that the users will have more satisfaction rates than just the UI. Because UI, it's fine, it's lovely. Like now, this thing we're seeing right now. I use Figma to do it, and I believe it's a good design, by the way. For this presentation you are seeing right now, is not PowerPoint. I actually use Figma to do it, and I did it this morning. Oh, it's like I just did because I'm late today, by the way. So I did it this morning. Because I just felt, okay, let's do some funny stuff with the design, not just regular in PowerPoint. Because we are designers, right? So I believe this is a good design. But if I focus only on this design and I forget about you having to be able to read the text properly, then I use a dark contrast so I can bring write text out so I can read it properly. And I don't just want it to be too empty. I trying to add other um elements like motifs just to make it a little bit lively. Those things are part of user interface, which is fine. But if I really focus on this interface and forget about the experience you have in this class with me, I will fail because you are going to give me a wrong review. So that's why I would say, as a UI UX, as a product designer, don't just focus on the user interface. Make sure you have a balance of user interface and the user experience so that it can be a good UI UX designer. Even if you see an opportunity and you can apply as a UX designer or a UI designer, in most Western world, they separate it. I focus on UX in the way. In most Western world, they separate it. In Nigeria, most likely that all of you are, you will definitely have UI UX designer. That's what you'll be called. Because you know, do the two things. But in most Western world, in most companies, they are going to focus on the UI, going to focus on the user research alone. They're going to focus on the user experience. Well, that doesn't mean that that's the only thing you do. In some projects, you do the UI, in some projects, you do this, the UX, in some projects, you join the research team. It just depends on what project you're doing. So, um, it also reduces element cost by identifying usability issues. Let me explain this. Let's assume you did not conduct a proper user research before you develop the product, and you assume that what your users want is a particular element. And when I mean element, it could be features. Let me use that also. Those are the terms I'm just going to be using. You might think, okay, that my users want these features in this project, or they want these features in this screen. It's your assumption. We don't work based on assumption. Every element has to be backed by data, which is research. What informed this decision? Why did you want to include this element to your project? It's because 10 users out of 20 says that they were struggling to find the menu bar. How did you get that information? It will take us to, we're going to treat us today how to carry a proper user research. So how did you get that information? Those information were gotten because we conducted a qualitative analysis, or we conducted a quantitative analysis, which is more like interview or survey with our users, and we're able to build a proper um, empathy map. We are going to still take that in class to be able to inform, okay, this is what we got from it. When we analyze our data, we're able to discover that 30% of users struggle with this, 50% struggle with this, and we want to increase the menu button so that they can see on all screens. That's what you need to do. So it reduces the cost. If you really don't do that, imagine you did not conduct research and you've gone ahead to develop a product, or often design a product and send to the development team to develop it, which is wrong first. You should not even do it. But imagine that happens and we're still developing the product, launch the product only to realize that this is important. You now go back again to do it. Of course, um, no product, there's no finished product. Every product has to be um, reworked on. That's why it's called agile product. But at the same time, it will reduce your cost if you've done a proper user research. Yeah. Then after that, let's take a case study. I don't want to show you something, a case study on a a coffee shop app. And I would say this was a real life scenario. So I want us to think of a lady called Sarah. Sarah is a busy professional who loves coffee. So one day she recently downloaded a new coffee shop application. The idea was so that she can pre-order her drinks. Of course, she was excited that she can skip the line and save some time on her way back from work. But I'll use two scenarios. The first is a poor user experience. Now, when Sarah opened the application for the first time, she was immediately frustrated. That is a bad user experience, right? The interface is cluttered with too many confusing options, and she found it very difficult to read based on what maybe she has eye problem. She did not use glasses like me. It depends on all the ordering process. I don't have eye problem. I'm just saying she did not use glasses like me. Yeah, the ordering process is lengthy, and then it's very difficult to select our favorite drinks. And where we are, coffee is a big deal. By the way, it's a very big deal. People take it morning, evening, because of how the weather is. So the color scheme is so low contrast that it's hard to read under the sun. And there's no option to increase the font. By the time she has placed her order, she's already frustrated and has already wasted so much time. That was a bad experience, right? Then on the other hand, Sorry. On the other hand, I think I thought I added the second screen. My bad. I'll explain what happened on the other one. On the other hand, a good user experience. When a competitive company open, they develop an application as well. But this time, upon Sarah opening the application for the first time, they ask her, "Hi, tell us your name." And she put Sarah. And he said, "Hello, Sarah. Is it your first time shopping with us?" "Yes." Say yes. "Tell us what you love." And Sarah said, "I love cappuccino, I love latte, I love Irish coffee." And when Sarah choose what she wants, the app remembered what Sarah chose. And this time around, the ordering process was streamlined. Just 3 steps. Choose what you want, add to cart, pay. Very easy. The next thing was that when Sarah came back the next day, it remembered what Sarah ordered the previous day. And then Sarah, "Do you still want cappuccino?" And Sarah said yes. So now, instead of having to start ordering again, Sarah just click one button and it's in reorder. Tell me, as a user, how do you feel with that kind of product? You guys should unmute and tell me, how do you feel with that kind of product?
I will be happy with the product. Like it's very satisfying.
That's satisfying, and you want to give the user, you want to give them good review, I'm sure.
A good review, yes, of course.
Exactly. Now, that is what UX does. So, as beautiful as a design is, if it does not meet the user's need and it does not save time, it does not save and make them happy, there's this feeling, oh, see, because I think when as you do more of this, you realize that you become a critic when you open an application, and it's good for you. It's good. It's good. Yeah. I also said you don't write a comment on their social media because it can or on their application because it can really, you know, I know what I'm saying. When I open my office app only for me to see bad review, sometimes it will pay me because I'm into it. So we still receive it. We still receive bad review, but I mean, some people will do it constructively. This is what I saw, I experienced. And sometimes be their network, it could not even be. So most times it's not always about the design because the design is top notch. But they might be, oh, I tried to do that, it's not good. So sometimes it could not only be network, it could be server, it could be so many things. But it can be so painful or kind of frustrating, especially at the early stage when you see a review. It will enter you, you will feel it. Believe me, you will feel it. And you have to build capacity because that's one of the challenges you're going to see. So by the way, so I mean our advice, if you want, if you find it, even if you want to give review, do it constructively because you're also a designer and really can be painful if you get bad review. And because it's part of your KPI, by the way. So, but so let's say what that does to you is that if you see other design, don't just any application, don't just look at it from now as from the perspective of why it's fine. Look at how you feel when you're upon interacting with that product. So what happened is a lot of design app respect Sarah's time and make our morning routine easier. It's more likely to keep using it and even recommend it to our friends, right? That's what happens when you focus on UI, on UX as well, instead of just UI part of it. All right. So key takeaway, usability. Successful app made the process simple and efficient, right? Reducing cognitive load and saving time. Accessibility. It was clear, the text was very accessible, interface was very intuitive, then user-centered. Remembering Sarah's preferences, the app made her feel valued and respected her busy schedule. Imagine when you open an application and say, "Hello, Oluchi," or "Hello, Gift." So lovely, right? Person remembered you made this app remembered me. And most time it's lovely. It can be. I really mean it's person-centered. All right, any question before we proceed? Any question?
None from my end. It's very clear. Thank you.
All right.
All good.
All good. That's fine. So the next thing we're going to be looking at now would be design thinking process. Now, before you start designing, this is one of the questions that everyone will always ask you every time. Maybe if you've ever had any interview before. I reckon no one has been interviewed as UI UX designer here. Anyone? I reckon nobody. Anyone has had any interview on UI UX? I reckon no one. Okay. So there's one question they're going to ask you. They'll tell you, tell me about your 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 design process. Or they'll tell you, walk me through your process. Or they'll tell you, how do you start your design? They just want to see how, if you just wake up, then someone would, or just want to see if maybe I call you right now, I call Abdul. I said, Abdul, I need an e-commerce app. Abdul will say, okay, what do you want to sell? Clothes. Okay, when do you want it? Next time, yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll go look for maybe a template or go and take so many applications on the community. They say Figma community, you can see almost everything you want, by the way, on Figma platform. And take what people have done, do it out his own way, tweak it and suit his style. Of course, they may not know and send to the person. I've delivered my job. Case closed. That's not the kind of designer they want to employ. They want to employ a designer who knows how to start a project. Because imagine you're working with a PM like Victor, a project manager when I mean PM, and you have other project managers and you they have given you a project. This is my project. Sometimes they may give you their research, by the way. Sometimes they may not. Depends on what kind of project, the scope of the project. Sometimes they may give you everything they want. So with that might be fine. But they still expect you to carry out your own process. And design process is about human centered. I need a fitness application. Who are the people going to be using this product? So they have to first design it to make sure that it meets the user's needs, the needs of the people, the possibility of technologies, and the requirements you need for the business success. So it's just a human-centered, human first. First, understand that this will be used by a human. So we need to first understand that this project will be used by a human. Once that has been settled, so that means as long as it is human that will be using it, you have to make sure that you don't complicate issue. So what are the design processes? First, empathize. Understand the user's needs. Empathy means it just like from the word empathy. Feel their pains. Feel their pains. One of the projects I work for a company in Australia, they were struggling to conduct him. They wanted to send money back to Africa. But boss wanted to send money back to Africa, but apparently there was no trusted application to do that. And that was a pain for him. He was like, how do I send money? How do I convert money? Convert the AUD, which is the Australian dollars, to Naira and be able to, or cedis, and be able to send to my people in Ghana, in Nigeria. So that was a problem. And he realized the problem. It is empathy, understanding the user's need and the experience. So because they had this issue, I feel that so many other people would have the same issue. So what the person did was to gather team together and see, we have a problem. This is the problem I want us to solve. And I was privileged to be in that project. And it's life. This is the project I want us to solve. And we come together, we gather team, we get team of designers, product designer, and developers, front-end designer, and project manager. We came up with an idea and we empathize with the users. We now ask this couple of research, through interviews, to know that is it that this man is not learned? Could it be that he's not aware that there are other projects, there are other applications that could help to solve that problem? We ask questions, we do make research and realize that there was a gap in the market. So that is good. Imagine you did not empathize with the users, you will not even start to any project. So the bedrock of every project is your empathy. Having to empathize with the user, feel their pain, understand their pain point. It can be frustrating, like you know what they are feeling. By the time you put yourself in it, you know their pain point, their struggles. You will now be able to develop it as a user because you also understand their pain point. So after you empathize with the users, the next thing you need to do is to define the problem. Okay, now they are going through the difficulties in sending money. Could it be high charge, transaction fee? I mean, could it be that the transaction in delivery time takes 24 hours? Could it be that there's no even platform to do that? You need to first define what the problem is. Because you cannot talk about what you don't know. You cannot develop a product for what you don't even know the problem to be. So you must, after you empathize, you must define what the problem is. You must clearly articulate what the goal of this project is. What problem are they going through? What problem are they faced with? Once you know their problem, you now ideas from ideation is like brainstorm. So you gather your team together. Okay, now we realize what the problem is, which is they are struggling to send money back home because sometimes it takes 24 hours. Sometimes there's no trusted platform to do that. Once that has been done, now we want to brainstorm. How do we solve this problem? That is where you generate a wide range of creative ideas. You begin to speak with your team, ask questions, um, carry out research. Um, I'll show you again how to do research in the next project, right? In the next slide, right away. Carry out research, do interview, one-on-one interview, go to school, surveys. How many of you have been feeling you feel survey for someone before? You know survey. Like you've asked someone give you survey form, they tell me I'm carrying out a project, can you help me fill this survey? If you normally reject it, please next time help. Surveys really help. That's what in fact that's someone's job. There's someone that just sit down to analyze all the surveys, all the feedbacks, all the reviews. That's someone's work. So next time, please don't ignore the person because you are helping someone's life. Then after you've done your ideation, you've passed your brainstorming stage. Another important part is prototype. Like I said, you build a prototype, not the real project, but it's a prototype of what how do I call it? It's a prototype of how the project would be. I wish I can show you something. A minute. Let me get a project. Um, did I have license? Okay, I can share this here. I'm just gonna remove this name because I don't want you guys to know who the people are. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, I just had to remove the name just for privacy purpose. So now this is a prototype of a fashion website, a fashion application rather. So you can literally test all this. Everything is functional. Like, sorry, I think I should do the prototype itself.
Please, what do you mean by prototype?
Exactly why I'm showing you my screen because you guys will not understand. So bear with me. This is a prototype. You can literally put this on your phone and test your application without calling any developer to develop it. But it's only the person that has the Figma link that can do this because it's not a live project, but it helps you to test your product, know if your product is ready for the market. You can use it to do your testing. Go to gather like 10, 20 people, tell them they should use this product. You've not developed anything, right? It's a prototype, is a sample. Some people demo, depending on what word you want to use, is a demonstration of your application. You design this and you did the prototype of it. So if you click on confirm, to confirm your location, you can change your location. All these things are iteration. We are going to interaction. We are going to do it in the next one of the slide. So like now, this is you see you see that this is scrollable. So that means the user can actually scroll this place on this. All the things are scrollable. Those are prototyping. It's a, it's a very important part of UI UX. I think this one is also scrollable. So all these things are scrollable, but you really don't need to get a developer to do it. So each of them that if they click on all these buttons, it will take them somewhere. I've not linked them because I just did this stuff recently. I've not even started it yet. So I'm just showing you what prototype is. Yeah, is that okay? So that's a prototype. If you put it on your phone, you use like the real application as if you are placing an order. As if you are placing an order. Yeah, as if you are placing an order. Sorry, I need to cancel that because it's not a live project. I can't use it on a class yet. So it's not a live project. So you just create a tangible solution to explore your idea. You want to tell someone you want to build a fitness application, to design it on a low fidelity. We already have a low fidelity of what I just told you. We design it on a low fidelity like this. I'm going to show you guys this because I don't want to be using so many jargons. This is a low fidelity, like a low fidelity of this project of the not that particular project, another project, but uh was it on MacBook? Okay, let's check that. So this is low fidelity of it. You design it on maybe something like this and see how you can test it, or you can make it a bit low fidelity, a bit something tangible. So we have three types of fidelity: low, mid, and high fidelity. Low fidelity is this one. Mid fidelity that you include images. It might not be the real image, it's just in so someone will really know what exactly that is. Then high fidelity was the first one I showed you. You literally design the full project, but don't always start on high fidelity because it's difficult to make corrections. So you do it this way. So you build a prototype, get your team to test it, and they see if it's not built. Let people, maybe 10, 20 people, just ask them questions, they should test it and see how they're interacting with the product. They can tell you, oh, was not able to click this place. I was struggling with this. Sometimes you can even do a screen recorder. This is how they do it. You give them a particular phone to use, device to use, and you record the screen as they're interacting with it. You also see their face. It's called Figma. When I asked me that question, it's called Figma. Don't worry, we are going to do that when it's time. We're going to show you how to use all the applications when it's time, please. All right. So once you've done your prototyping, you do your testing, and you go back to either define or you ideate. In most cases, the life cycle will go back to empathize again, but it's not always that case. So it will always be either you go back to ideation, prototype test, and back to ideation, prototype test, because you already know what your solution was. But upon testing, you may realize that what you thought was a problem was not really the problem. And testing is not develop the product. So you can come back and redefine what your problem was. That's why I said that product does not finish. Product cycle would always um, um it's always a cycle. It's an other product. You are not expected to finish it. No problem. That's why you always see update version 1, version 2, version 3, 3 this, 4 this. That's because they keep iterating, they keep developing, updating the product. It's not a finished product. All right, guys. So let's see how we can explain. I think I've even explained this already. So maybe I'll share this slide with you guys later. So empathize, understand deep insight. Do I need to do this again? I've already explained on from one slide. I will just share this thing with you guys. User interview, empathy mapping, yeah. That's what you do. Those are the methods if you want to look at the screen. Research and understanding user, yeah. So let's talk about research and understanding users. So one of the major parts of this project is that you understand your users, which is the first thing, empathizing. Research and understanding the user is crucial in designing effective user experience. Yep, yep. This process involves gathering insight. You must gather insight into users' behavior. How does users behave? How what are their motivations? What are their needs? What are their pain points? Like I said, how do you create solutions that resonate with them? Remember that you don't design for yourself. You design for the users, not you. You are not the most important person as far as product design is concerned. I'm sorry, it's the users. So you don't design for yourself. Titilope, you are not important. Is she on this call? Who else can I look for trouble? Or Rocky, not important. Melinda, it's not about you. It's about your user.
So can you
Alex,
excuse me, please,
yeah.
Kochi? So are we going to have access to this video again? Like,
Yes, the class is recorded.
okay, all right.
All our
Thank you so
classes are recorded. So what we do is after every class, we upload it to a YouTube link and send to everybody.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a closed group. It's not, you may not be able to search for it on public spots. You must have the link to be able to see it. So I'll do that for
Okay,
you
all
guys
right.
later. All right, yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, understand the users. Then what else? How do you understand your user? There are 3 steps. There are 4 steps, about 4, yeah. First, define your research objective. What are they? We are going to use a fitness application as a case study. What are the fitness goals? Clearly outline what you aim to understand about your users. So what challenges do they face in achieving these goals? What motivates them to stay consistent with fitness app? You ask a couple of questions. There are so many questions you can ask your users just to ask to be able to know what their motivations are. But you must first define your research objective. What do you want to achieve at the end of this research? If like someone that just gain admission into school and say, okay, I want to graduate with first class. What was first class? First class is everything. So you look, I want to have 4 point this, 1.5 point this. Just give yourself a target, right? That's the same thing that happens. So it's okay. At the end of this year, for some people, I want to learn a tech skill, and here you are. And I think Melinda also said, I want to learn tech skills so that I can make money. In fact, that's a smart goal. That's the same thing. So I want to conduct user research so that I can understand what what the user's fitness goals are, understand what challenges they face, understand what motivates them to stay consistent with fitness apps. That's a smart objective, right? So when you are designing when you're conducting on any user research, make sure that your goal is clearly understood from the beginning. Then after that one, identify your target audience. Who do you want to who do you want to meet? Who are your audience? Segment them into personas based on their demographic, fitness levels, and habits. So are they based in Lagos? Are they based in Ibadan? Are they based in Calabar? So if they are based in Lagos, you know that there are certain things that you have to put into consideration. Will they be able to come for fitness classes? That means traffic can be a factor. You must always put that into consideration. So when you are asking questions, you also need to ask questions based on that. You understand what I'm saying? So in this case, I identify my target users into 4. I call them beginners, new to fitness, they need basic guidance and encouragement. I have intermediate users, which is regular exercises like they do it regularly. A bit then advanced users, these ones are fitness enthusiasts. They really love fitness. Then I'm gonna do it for lifestyle. So an individual using fitness for wellness or social engagement, you may not really have them so much. Like people do they raise funds, like they will do, okay, I want to run 20 miles to raise funds for cancer. And people provide, once they see you and you, advance you're carrying the plaque, people donate because they want to, maybe someone is sick, maybe they have a loved one, a wife, a family, community, that people of something with cancer, they want to raise awareness. People support, sponsor them. So those ones are people that do that for a living. So you just need to know who your target audience are. So you must identify who is going to be using your product. Once that has been done, you must know what method of user research would I use. Sorry, please. We have so many methods, but in this project for in our level, I would say let's look at user interviews and survey. For now, there are so many other methods that you can use. For interview, which is conduct one-on-one interviews or community interviews or group interviews, asking questions. It could be Zoom meeting. I've done interview on Zoom sometimes. It could be Zoom meeting. It could be go to school, ask one-on-one conversation, go to offices, depending on what kind of project you're working on. conduct one-on-one interview to gain insight. Then once you've done that, you can also do survey or questionnaires where you collect qualitative data about users' habits and their preferences. So you will now know, okay, is this person a regular fitness user? Is this person a intermediate? Is this person a beginner? Is it novice? You will know if you so when you gather your insight. So anyone can work. So you don't need insight in interview and survey. But you just want to reach a wider audience. You want to do survey because you cannot interview everybody in case except you have up to 2 years for the project. So sometimes survey might be the best option, but if you combine the two, and we list if everybody we combine the two, user interview, survey, and questionnaires. It's very important. Then after you've done that, you synthesize your research. You group them, you group them into insight, into actionable output. So which leads us to a very important aspect of UX, which is empathy maps. Understand what your user says, they think, feel, and do. What do they say? The user says that I'm struggling with this. I think this. I feel like I do this to get those things. That's what empathy map. Then once you've figured your empathy map, you build a user persona. You don't know. Let me see if I can show you guys what the current students are doing. The people that just the last cohort, this is their let me show you one of their projects. I know they will kill me for this because I have not presented it, but I'll just show you 1%. This is what we call user persona. Abi. Yeah. Okay, I make comments here, tell them what corrections to make. This is their user persona. So they created a user. This is what this user is. So you simulate a user. Let's call it who have I not mentioned name here? Let's call it Zenith. The user here is called Zenith. And Zenith is a farmer in this context. And he or she is this, and this. So you build a user persona. How many of you have an idea of what user persona is before now?
No idea before, no idea before. Just
Okay,
like
so I think I really need to explain this then. Is a simulated user. Let's say, let's say in this context, we are going to have 4 user personas. One would be a beginner, 2 would be intermediate, 3 would be what was the other one? What was the level again? I think we had a couple of levels. One, advanced users and lifestyle. So we are going to have personas for all these 4 people. You understand what I'm saying?
yes, sir, I understand.
Yeah, you're going to build because you identify your target audience. It is from your target audience that you build your persona and know who they are. So you don't say, okay, I'm building this. Let me tell you what this project is. This is a farm project, a farming project. And this the gap between the farmer and the buyer. So there is a middle person, which is this lady. She's a middle person in this project. So this middle person would come and buy from the farmer and sell to this person, buy cheaper from the farmer and sell higher for this person. Therefore, she makes more money than the farmer. So the solution is for us to bridge the gap that this person does not exist again, so that the farmer can have direct access to the buyer. You guys understand?
Yes.
Now, so because we have 3 target audience in this context, we have to do a personnel for this farmer, which is Nokuru, and do another one for Amina, and do another one for Peter. Each of them they are different target audience. I believe that is self-explanatory. But Amina is nothing. Amina is just a name we just feel that okay, let's do Amina, Sabisu, Nokuru, all those ones. They are not real users, but you simulate them. So you don't know you need to present it when you're developing your application. we are looking at considering John is a farmer. So John is struggling to make ends meet for years. Middlemen have dictated the price of his product. That's how to build a personal and transportation challenges make it difficult for him to reach better markets. So John here want to sell very well. And there's this saying that the closer you are to the farm, the more poor you are to the ground. If the soil, so there's one funny statement they talk about the agriculture. The ones who are closer to the soil make less money. And it's unfortunately that's the truth. Because this middleman will come in, buy from you, import it, or if it's cocoa, like cocoa, import it, bring it back again, and if something still sell it back again to you more. So you will end up struggling all your life. So they are trying to bridge the gap between these middlemen. I mean, so that would be the solution they are working on. And they have really gone far. I can't show you other things that they have done, but this is page. So I'm going to close this until their presentation day. Now, um, once you know your target audience, you build a persona, more like build a detailed user personas to represent your target audience. The next thing you need to do is your journey maps. What I mean by journey map is like user flow. So how do you want the application to be like? If I come in, you build a user flow. Let me see if I can show you a user flow. This is a user flow. It's a flow chart. Welcome, start, farmer, sign up, decision, login, register, consumer, sign up, decision, login, register. This is from the guys working on it, and you can see they are doing an amazing job. I don't have to do anything. They just sent this to me and said, good to go. I did not even know comment on this. Okay. So it gets the journey map. All their touch points has to be put into consideration. And these things will take them, I may not be the one, but all the teachers will be taking them one by one. So you build your journey map, understand the touch point, their pain point in the user journey, know how you want them to interact with your screens, with all your application, even your website, an application, know how to interact. Once that has been done, the next thing you want to do is affinity diagrams. Organize finding into cluster and related insights. What I mean is, so you find your findings. So some people will say that let's say fitness. I'm new to this project. You group them, right? Those that say we are we are fitness enthusiasts. You group them. So you define them. You segment them into clusters. So you now take all those people that say they are beginners and let's see where their frustration is, and you combine it and make a common a common decision from them. Which means 90% of the beginners says this. 90% of the beginners say this is why they cannot do this. This is why they have not been doing fitness. This. To gather those insights. It is from that information that you gathered that you'll be able to know how your final sprints would now be. Now you see, if you know all these things and you go for any interview or they tell you what us through, this is basically what we are going to explain. That's your design process. That's just what they are asking you for. And I can tell you that majority of the people still don't know because why they don't know is because that is not what they practice. And I can assure you that majority of these people, even on this call that have idea already on design, don't practice this thing because I know what I'm saying. Now, if you're just learning design, which is fine, you want to be good, you can do it. But if you want to work on any project, I'll advise, try as much as possible to do this. If you don't want to do it this way, you can even try, see, now we live in a world where AI can even help you do certain things, but it may not be the real solution, it may not be the real feedback you are getting. Because it's not a real project. If you are doing working it for yourself, you are trying to develop a project, a portfolio for yourself, you can apply that. You can use AI, you can use Copilot or ChatGPT, depending on which one you have access to, and they will be able to tell you better. So that was just empathizing, which is I cannot go to design We talk about ideation, which is brainstorming. I'm not gonna do that again. Okay, techniques for brainstorming. Any question before I do this one?
No questions. No questions. Everything's clear.
Yeah.
So I have a question actually.
Yeah,
So
your
for
name?
instance now, yeah, John Alvin.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say I am signing up in an application or a site of that same application, right? And they could ask me, okay, what are you signing up for? Are you signing, rather, what are you signing in as? Is it a founder? Is it an employee or stuff and stuff like that? Then the next slide will be, okay, let's say for instance I choose founder. Then the next slide they ask me, okay, how many employees rather are in your organization?
Yeah.
Is it 50 to 100? Can that be said to be UX, like user experience?
Okay, yes. So the aim of that is to streamline the contents that you are going to see.
Yeah.
So basically, if you sign up for a SaaS project, when I mean that project I mentioned is called SaaS, it's more like
Software as a
most time
service.
it could be a software, it could be a software. Most time it's always that case. It's like maybe software, maybe AI, and maybe virtual assistants, all those kind of stuff, company software. It could also be an application, yeah. But I mean most times it's always software that they use those kind of questions. The idea is that the content that the founder is going to see will be different from the content that an employee might see, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so that they can streamline it, they can tailor the content to your own need. So that's the UX part of it, is to solve your problem. Yeah, because it will be useless for you to come on website and you are a founder, but all you wanted to do is to see the number of employers that you have, right? Employees that you have. Only for you to be done something that is related to employees, not really employer. So they always try to make sure that the streamline it, and the best way to streamline is to gather feedback from you from the beginning. To tell us your name, are you a founder? Sometimes information that you see in Nigeria is different from what you see in the UK. Information that from of someone that says in the US is different from what you see in Australia. So that is UX part of it. However, that is not the user research part of it. But that can be used to gather some testing. It's called usability testing. When you now check, let's say at the end of it, you want to do your testing, like some company will do testing every month. Let's gather our analytics. How many founders visited our website? You know, so
Yeah.
okay, 900 founders visited our website. Out of that 900, we realize that if the goal of visiting the website is to make purchase, that means the goal is purchase. We now check how many of the founders what made was successful, was how many conversion rates did we have? Normally, ideally, 100% conversion rate. That means 900 of the founders made purchase. Now, if we have 56% conversion rate, that means 44% drop off. We have to find out why did they drop off. That is where user testing and product testing comes in. And that's a very important part of design. It may not be your role. Most times it's user researcher that does that. But if you work in a place where you are the only one about novice, now you go to uh
That's Nigeria. Inside Nigeria.
yeah, exactly. Now you go do so in that case, sorry, that's why you need to know it. So you need to know why did they drop off? Was it because so you now need to know this what we call heat map. Heat map is you plug it in on your application on your website and it will
Sorry,
show
what map?
heat map is like when like HEAAT. HEAT rather is a map. So heat map is show you how people interact in your product with your product. Where you have most of your users. Let me see if I can click online and see one heat map. I'm not in, if I was in my office, this thing, I would have shown the heat map, part. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, lovely. Image. You guys are seeing my screen, right? Let me see one perfect one. Lovely. This is the one. This one. No, no, it is not. It was showing me it, but it's not when I click. See, I don't know if you guys are seeing with my cursor. When I click it, it's not. Let me see if I. This is another one. This. So this shows this red can be anything. I don't know what their own is. So this blue can be successful that if they come in, this could be where they came from. This red means that they drop off. So most of this red, we need to know why did they drop off. And if you now look at this, realize that in this in sorry, that in this case, can I open this thing in new tab? Like in this case, you realize that this place, most of the users that came through from here, they drop off here. That means if they was running an advert, I'm just going to tell you, explain. If they were running an advert, that means the source of this user, maybe it was Facebook, they are not reliable audience. So because realize the people that came from this side of the advert, that came from here, the problem could be that this is Facebook, it could be Twitter, it could be Instagram. That means the users that were attracted from that source, they are not, they are poor in this context. They cannot afford it, or they are not the right user, or they are not the right target audience. This can help you. So if you have that plugin, they can help you to know how to. This is another one. I mean, you don't need to understand how your own works. Those things are it depends on what company and what your company, the one your company is using. Let me see if I can have a better one. Let's move to website. Lovely. This is the perfect one. Now, this is the perfect one, guys. This is the perfect one. Have you seen this, right? This is a perfect one. So this one shows that watch your site visitors. So you realize that every of this thing will have a key. Will tell you what each of the key represent. I don't know what their key represent because I can't read their own. So you know whoever a plugin will set what the key is. So you will know where your users are coming from. You will know why they drop off, and you will know you'll be able to use it to develop. You're like, okay, so if you only stop at product page and they will not add to cart, that means there's a challenge. It's either the price is too much, it's too high, or it might not be the right audience. So why is it that only founders drop off? Okay, when we go and look at the audience, it's already employees. We have 200 employees and 60% of them made payment. That means 40% did not. Why did they not? You now begin to check your feedback and see where those people were. Check their source of traffic, know where they are coming from, know why they drop off, know why they did not make payment, know where they stop. Some people would think from they stop at payment gateway payment and they stop. It could be that the payment gateway is not even functional, you're not aware. It could be that network has been bad, it could be that the integration is bad. So those things will help you solve your problem. That's where testing comes in. John, I don't know if you've answered your question.
Yeah, you have actually.
Please,
All right, yeah. Go ahead, please.
yes, concerning this heat map. So do you create it yourself or it's just automatic?
No, you don't. Is a plugin. There are plugins that help you. It's not is you may not even be the one to do it. Most times the developers will be the one to integrate it for you.
Okay. All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but it's very helpful as a designer or as a UX researcher to tell them to integrate it. Tell them to
Yes.
integrate it. Most time project marketing managers would be the one to if they also need it because it also help them to make informed decisions. Because if you come on your website, you're not purchasing and they are not meeting their target. They will want to ask why are people not buying, but they are coming on the website. So there are some applications that will help you know when people enter your website. Like we have it. If you ever come to our website, we know when you enter. We know where you're entering from. As control, we know. We know when you if you where you the places you are moving to. So if we want to track all the students, we want to okay, why is it that when they get to payment, they don't make payment? Which now we must have to call you to make payment. Those kind of things. Of course, this is scholarship. I'm just saying how it is. So
Yeah.
we track all those things. Everybody should be able to have it to help you in your marketing, in your product design, in your field as well. And also, if you know that something exists, and your developer, because most developer may not want to, because they may think they don't want to do plenty of work. When we tell them, please integrate this, they're like, this person knows what he's doing or she is doing. So that can help. Any other question?
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So before you brainstorm, because we have time, we may not. But when you're working on your project, like we have group projects, we have what we call brainstorming session. You need to understand how to brainstorm, even when you go to office, or maybe if I have a project and I may invite a couple of you guys to join me on my project. I've done that before. I always drop on the community. Anybody interested in joining me on a project? I have projects every time comes up. So if we're having brainstorming session, these are the things we do. Hopefully I have another one. I think I have one more. I will just drop on the group. People that want to join me on the project will see how we do it together. We have a meeting, we do it like this. So one of the things you must understand when you are keeping a brainstorming session is that first you must make sure that no matter what someone says, no matter how funny it looks, no matter how in quotes stupid it sounds, you must never take it for granted, because that stupid idea can actually be the solution. So get a judgment-free zone. Don't touch any decision. Everything that someone says must be recorded, must be documented. It's what we call idea bank. Store it on the bank, because you'll be surprised in the next 10 years you come back to that information. You might not even be the one in that company again, but there should be an idea bank. I believe so you're working project management, you have idea bank, right? Project bank, how do you guys call it in your field? I don't know if it's still on this call, but you have an idea bank. So there should be an idea bank where every information, every information is stored. Very important. So make sure that you aim for quantitative over qualitative. The quantity of information is better than the quality of information. And I always advise people, don't have brainstorming session more than 30 minutes, because the more you begin to talk too much, because you begin to speak rubbish. So I'd rather have 30 minutes. We come back after like 3 hours in that 30 minutes, or I do it 10 minutes. Or sometimes the spontaneous part of it will move. I'll just call my colleague. So we are working on this. So how is it? Any idea? You realize that some people work that way. There's some people that they don't like being kept in the own seat. Find out what works for them. I have a colleague that during break time that she thinks better. Days like when she's now on her break, you'll not be thinking of it like, hey, I have an idea. I'm like, okay. So she always come in with an idea after break. That means she's not a morning person. So we've now realized that we don't do most of our brainstorming again in the morning time, because she's not a morning person. So there are people like that, so because you work with the team, you tend to collaborate. You know people, what's their creative boundaries. You begin to know people. So you begin to know, okay, this person, she's very good in the morning. This one, no, morning. This person doesn't like us sit. This one like to give in hard time to think of it. Think about the project, think about an idea before come up with solution the next day. Now, people can work that way, but I mean, you need to understand your team. So brainstorming is key. Brainstorming is key, but you must contribute, because don't think, no, my idea is bad. Say something. The more you say something, the more you open your creative mind. So guys, so brainstorming is a very key part of design. I think we should even do brainstorming. What do we do? Yeah, fine. Let's do a brainstorming session. Let's see what we can do, guys. Um, let's do a brainstorming session. What problem should we solve? Each group formulate a problem statement for them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, we are going to segment us into groups. I'm going to segment us into groups. Yeah, I'm going to segment us into 2 groups, and I want you guys to come up with an idea. How many are we on this thing? No, 2 groups is too small. We're going to segment it into 4 groups. Yeah, and I want us to come up with you don't realize that 2 people left. When I say segment us into group, you can't be shy and we hope it's network, because if it's not network, that's bad, by the way. Yeah, so what we are going to do, we want to discuss a product called Sam. This is my example. Sam needs a way to stay organized because his busy schedule makes him forget appointments. Now, how do we turn this problem into opportunity for Sam? So how might we help Sam stay organized so he can easily remember and manage his appointment? That is a problem statement. That is a solution, right? So I want us to come up with idea with Sam, taking Sam as an example. This is the problem Sam is having. Are you guys hearing me? It's a problem Sam is. Sam needs a way to stay organized because his busy schedule makes him forget appointment. I want us to come up with an idea. How can we help Sam? So how might we help Sam to stay organized so he can easily remember and manage his appointment? I want you guys to go take 10 minutes, come up with a solution. How can we help Sam to come up with how can we help Sam to easily remember his appointment? That is the question. That is the problem we want to solve. So come up with idea. And you guys, one person will represent each group to present. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to automatically well, yeah, when you get to your group, you decide who want to represent. So guys, I'm going to break you guys into group now. In the next 10 minutes, I will close the group. Mary, why are you still here? Can you join the group?
Like it took me back. I was unable to join the group.
What group, really?
Group 2.
Melinda, why are you not in the group too?
Sorry, my system just went.
Yeah. Let me see if I can put you. Abdul? Hello, you guys have 5 minutes more. Mary, you're back. I thought I added you to a group.
Yeah, I saw it. He said he was joining, so I don't know why it's
Melinda, you're back again.